Organics that are not worth your money. You've probably heard the phrase, organic is always better. This idea, repeated almost like a mantra, creates the impression that any food with an organic seal is automatically healthier and safer. But is that really true in every case? Science shows otherwise. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, do you usually buy organic foods? I want to know if you think it's worth spending more, or if you believe it's just marketing. There are certain foods whose very nature, whether it's a thick peel, compact structure, or the way they are cultivated, already provides natural protection against pesticides. And in these cases, paying 50% to 80% more for a label might simply be throwing money away. This is not just an opinion. Reports from respected institutions such as the USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, EFSA, European Food Safety Authority, and the EWG, Environmental Working Group, analyze thousands of fruit and vegetable samples year after year. The result is always similar. Some foods show such low levels of residues that buying organic versus conventional makes virtually no difference. And today, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. 1. Mango. Mango is a delicious tropical fruit, but many people wonder if it should always be organic. According to the USDA Pesticide Data Program, 2022, mango pulp barely accumulates residues. That's because its thick, fibrous peel acts like a natural shield. The EWG 2023 listed mango among the clean foods, clean 15. In other words, you can safely buy the conventional version. 2. Watermelon. Watermelon is a summer classic, and here's an interesting fact. In EFSA's 2021 tests, the pulp showed insignificant residues. The reason is simple: its thick outer rind prevents chemicals from reaching the edible part. The same applies to melon. The EWG 2024 kept both watermelon and melon on the list of foods with the lowest pesticide risk. 3. Kiwi is known as a vitamin C powerhouse. But what about pesticides? The European Food Safety Authority showed that residues are concentrated in the peel, the fuzzy part that is rarely eaten. Once again, there's no need to pay extra for the organic version. 4. Asparagus. Few people know this, but asparagus is naturally resistant to pests. That means that even in conventional farming, it requires minimal spraying. In the EWG 2023 report, asparagus was among the safest vegetables to consume. Here, science is clear. The organic seal barely changes anything. 5. Pineapple. Pineapple's peel is tough and fibrous, providing complete protection to the inner fruit. The USDA PDP consistently shows undetectable residues in its pulp. The conclusion: whether organic or not, you'll be eating a fruit that's naturally protected. 6. Onion. One of the most widely used ingredients worldwide, onion is also one of the safest. The EWG 2024 placed onion at the top of the clean list. That's because its outer layers, usually discarded during preparation, already eliminate almost all residues. Once you peel it, contamination is gone. 7. Honey. Organic honey may sound healthier, but think about it. How can you control where a bee flies? How can you guarantee it only visits organic flowers? It's impossible. What truly matters is the source. The FAO/WHO, Codex Alimentarius, has highlighted that the main concern with honey is adulteration with sugar or syrup, not pesticide residues. So the key is to buy from trustworthy beekeepers, not just chase a label. 8. Cauliflower and broccoli. These cruciferous vegetables are well known for their nutrient richness, but when it comes to chemical residues, EFSA 2020 showed that both have very low levels, since their compact surface and clustered florets make pesticide penetration difficult. Careful washing is usually enough. 9. Papaya. Like pineapple and mango, papaya has a firm peel that acts as a natural barrier. According to USDA PDP, the risk of residues in the pulp is low. In some years, EWG even listed papaya among the safest foods. 10. Eggplant. The thick purple peel of eggplant greatly reduces pesticide absorption. EFSA reviewed studies found that average residue levels remain well below safety limits, making the organic version unnecessary. The logic behind the list: notice the pattern. Foods that don't require organic versions share common characteristics. 1. Thick peel or protective layer, like mango, watermelon, pineapple, papaya, and kiwi. 2. Compact structure, like onion, broccoli, and cauliflower. 3. Low need for spraying, like asparagus. 4. Impossibility of real control, like honey. The EWG 2023 and 2024 sums this up in the Clean 15 list, the 15 cleanest foods with the lowest risk of pesticide exposure. Almost all the ones we just discussed appear there. Buying everything organic can weigh heavily on your wallet and doesn't always provide extra benefits. For these foods, science shows that the risk of pesticide ingestion is minimal. This doesn't mean you should relax about quality. It's still important to wash them, peel when necessary, and choose reliable suppliers. But spending extra money on organic versions of these items won't change your health. And here is a crucial point. If you save money on foods that don't need to be organic, you can invest in those that truly should be. Organics that are worth every penny. Now we move to the most critical side, the foods that should always be bought organic. These items concentrate pesticide residues at much higher levels, according to analyses of thousands of samples across different countries. Here, the risk is not just theoretical. Continuous exposure to pesticides has been linked to higher risk of endocrine disorders, neurological changes, and even cancer, according to FAO, WHO, and EFSA. Therefore, if there is one investment in organic produce that truly protects health, it is with the foods listed below. 1. Strawberries. Year after year, EWG places strawberries at the very top of the dirty dozen, the most contaminated foods. They have no thick peel, their surface is porous and delicate, and they absorb pesticides like a sponge. USDA PDP 2022. More than 90% of strawberry samples tested contained residues of multiple pesticides. Why organic? Because the pulp has no protective barrier. The only way to reduce this risk is to choose versions grown without chemicals. 2. Spinach. Spinach is another residue champion. It's a thin leaf vegetable, heavily sprayed to control pests. EWG 2023. Spinach ranked as the second most contaminated vegetable in the US EFSA 2020. European monitoring found insecticides such as permethrin, some close to the maximum legal limits. Why organic? To reduce intake of neurotoxic pesticides and ensure truly healthy consumption. 3. Grapes. Grapes are delicate fruits, widely cultivated, and therefore heavily sprayed. EWG 2024. Grapes appeared on the dirty dozen, with residues of up to 15 different pesticides in a single sample. USDA PDP confirms that even the skin, which is eaten, concentrates chemicals. Why organic? Because grapes lack protective thick skins, and you consume exactly where pesticides accumulate. 4. Apples. Apples are among the most sprayed fruits worldwide. Even peeling doesn't remove everything, since pulp close to the peel absorbs residues. EWG 2023. Apples ranked among the 10 most contaminated foods. USDA PDP found pesticide traces in more than 90% of samples tested. Why organic? Because washing or peeling doesn't completely eliminate residues. 5. Bell peppers and hot peppers. Colorful and flavorful, peppers are also highly targeted by pests. The result? Intense spraying. EFSA 2021 detected multiple residues in most analyzed samples. EWG 2024 still includes peppers among the most contaminated foods. Why organic? Because their thin skin accumulates residues directly on the part you eat. 6. Cherries. Cherries, like grapes, appear every year in the dirty dozen. USDA PDP 2022. Nearly all samples contained multiple pesticides, including some not authorized in other countries. Why organic? Because with their thin edible skin, residues go straight into your body. 7. Peaches and nectarines. Delicate-skinned fruits, heavily sprayed. EWG 2023. Peaches and nectarines were among the 10 worst foods for residues. Why organic? Because washing cannot remove pesticides that have penetrated the pulp. 8. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are consistently highlighted among high-risk foods. EWG 2024 included both tomatoes and cherry tomatoes in the dirty dozen. EFSA has reported multiple pesticides at concerning concentrations in European samples. Why organic? Because their thin skin and watery pulp absorb residues. 9. Coffee. Although not usually included in fruit and vegetable lists, coffee is one of the most heavily sprayed crops worldwide, especially in tropical regions. FAO WHO have warned of the intensive use of fungicides in its cultivation. Many consumers forget that the ground beans going into their cup concentrate these chemicals. Why organic? To avoid chronic ingestion of fungicides, herbicides, and insecticides that remain in the beans. 10. Tea leaves also accumulate pesticides easily. EFSA reviewed studies, 2019-2021, found pesticide traces in ready-to-drink infusions. Why organic? Because consumption is direct. Dried leaves go into infusion, releasing residues into the water you drink. 11. Chocolate, cocoa. Cocoa, the base of chocolate, is cultivated in tropical areas and heavily sprayed against fungi. FAO reports indicate risks of both chemical residues and mycotoxins. Why organic? To reduce exposure to fungicides and ensure greater purity. 12. Cotton-derived products. It may sound unusual, but cotton deserves a spot on this list. EWG and other reports warn that cotton is one of the most heavily sprayed crops. Tampons, underwear, and baby clothes may carry residues that come into direct contact with skin or mucous membranes. Why organic? To avoid chemical absorption through less obvious routes. 13. Wheat, oats, lentils, and legumes. Here's an important detail. Even when they are not genetically modified, many grains are sprayed with glyphosate, herbicide, shortly before harvest to accelerate drying. USDA and EFSA confirm that glyphosate is frequently found in oats, wheat, and legumes. Why organic? Because only the organic seal guarantees no glyphosate was applied pre-harvest. Common factors. All of these foods share certain traits. 1. Thin skin or no skin, strawberries, spinach, grapes, tomatoes. 2. Large-scale cultivation with intense spraying, coffee, tea, cocoa, cotton. 3. Use of herbicides as desiccants, wheat, oats, lentils. This is where the organic seal truly makes a difference, reducing chronic exposure to chemicals that, over time, can harm metabolism, liver, kidneys, and the hormonal system. If this video helped you save money and make smarter choices about what's worth buying organic, leave a like and share it with someone who always struggles in the supermarket. Support our channel. Check the pinned comment below to learn how.